Hey y'all, it's Arwen of Tarot by Arwen showing off my Seek Joy Y'all cup. I love this cup. I have a couple of versions of it. Um, I wanted to talk to you today. I know I'm doing a lot of videos, but I'm trying to get back into my review habit. And today I want to talk about the Mythical Creatures Oracle. It is by Sky Cybele or Cybele or Sybil. I don't know. It's Cybelle. And she has done a beautiful, beautiful oracle deck. It's by Schiffer. I'll show you the box. Again, I love to knock on them. They're like cigar boxes. And they're just beautiful. You can put this on your bookshelf and have just, well, let's try it that way. And have a truly beautiful, beautiful thing. And you know, I love it. It's got the lid lifts, and then they've got this beautiful author piece in here with her Eastern Dragon, her fairy. And then inside, this is a smaller deck, so it's only got one group of cards. A lot of them have two groups. Here's the book. The book has the back of the card. And then it has, again, images from the, wow, that's really reflective. Let's try that. From the deck itself. And it's an interesting book because what I really like about this book, I'm very drawn to this deck. I have to admit that this is, I truly think I'd use this deck for doing work. It's got tons and tons of stuff. She gives you the very beginning. The myth is a fundamental part of human existence. All around the world since beginning of time, people have used myth as an expression of their imagination. She has chosen, she says, I chose fabulous animals in this collection on the basis of a number of factors. Unfortunately, global diversity played only a minor role in selecting them. Familiarity for her, familiarity was a higher priority. She gives you right off the bat a list of cards and keywords. So if you don't want to have to flip through the deck, you can just, boom, get instant information you want. She talks about working with the mythical creatures. And then mythical creatures as totems, and she gives you a whole list of mythical creatures for your jobs. So what might work for your job? If you're an athlete, maybe the hippocampus. The Kitsune, which I'm going to show you, could be actors, actresses, dancers, and models. Siren, con artists, sex workers. The Sasquatch, outdoorsmen, naturalists, hermits, and park rangers. Then she talks about choosing your totem based on dominant personality traits. Some of them are fairly negative. Creeps is one of the words she uses. So, and then she talks about once you've identified your totem, how to work with that. Meditations for empowerment, how to perform a power animal working. And then she gives you some suggested power animals and recommends who they might be for and gives you cautions, tells you what their desired qualities are, and then gives mantras. Like for the Cerberus, the three-headed dog, one of the mantras is, I bear my fangs at intruders, for they shall not pass. Kind of like Gandalf. But a really, really well thought out book. There's quite a bit of information here. She has a section called Creatures That Are Purely Negative. Now, you know me, my joy, my looking for joy everywhere. I'm going to be a little weird about that. In particular, when one of the ones she calls purely negative is the werewolf. I write fiction as Mary Lou Mann. I'm part of a writing team. And we write werewolf romance. So I kind of can't own the werewolf as purely negative. But she does say violent mood swings, explosive tempers. Well, okay. Prone to bouts of physical violence. Okay. So, you know, I can see when she's trying to nail this down into her system and her worldview and a concrete method, I can understand why you would do this. She gives you a ritual for bottling a monster. Bottling? Yeah, bottling a monster. Destroying or banishing monsters. And then how to use the card in divination. She talks about asking the right questions. She says the mythical creatures oracle is ideally suited for the following divination questions, and she gives 3. What creature am I? What creature is this other person? What is at the root of a particular situation? And what creature can help right now? And then she goes on for some complex card readings. And then we dive into the cards. And I picked a few out, as you know. So here's the back of the card. Totally reversible. She does do inverted and upright. And I chose this one because it just made me happy. It's called a Baromet. It's also known as the vegetable lamb or a Tartary lamb. The Baromet is a lamb that grows on tree or bush. It's what medieval Europeans imagined when they were first introduced to cotton, thinking that wool must come from a plant. So, and it's got just a little happy face, and it's a very fun card. And it talks about being gentle, innocent, naive, about children. It gives you a whole bunch, and I mean, you get a whole bunch of information on this card. Oh, sorry for the tail. Vinegar came to visit. She must like the Baromets also. Then I pulled one of my favorite, and that's the Cerberus, or Carabus, since it is a Greek word. And that's the 3-headed guard dog. This is about boundaries, personal space. Speaking of personal space, Vinegar would like to make a little view. She's rubbing on the computer, which is why it kept moving. But this is about boundaries, and they talk about it being ferocious and terrifying, but not necessarily evil. So, and when it talks about the inverted Cerberus, it's very interesting. Has failed to do his job, been overcome either through deception, brute force, or being inattentive. There's a breach of trust, a breach of personal space. So I think you can very well use these for oracle readings. This one I picked because I live in Texas, and the Chupacabra is a big deal down here. A lot of Chupacabras seem to be animals who've had mange, bad mange, like completely hairless. I've seen one that's pretty sure it's a raccoon. Another one was an animal dead on the side of the road, looked like a dog or a coyote. But here's her version of the Chupacabra. And Chupacabras are worry, distrust, future shyness, xenophobia, which is a very interesting combination. And they say they originated in Puerto Rico, which I didn't know. Then one of my favorites in the entire mythological world are the Foo Dogs. Let me hold the card steady. Look at the Foo Dogs. They have 2 different things. You'll see them in pairs, okay? They're almost always in pairs. I don't believe they come in separate. They are male and female. They represent yin and yang and the cooperative balance. The male has a globe under his foot. The female has a cub. The male generally has his tail sticking out. And this is pretty much the Pekingese dog, right? This is based on a Pekingese as far as I know. But I'm very fond of the Foo Dogs. You'll see them at a lot of restaurants, Asian restaurants. Another one I'm fond of, and this goes back to me being a Girl Scout, traveling on a wagon train across North Dakota. True story. I was 14 years old and was picked to go on what we called back then a wider opportunity. And this was Move 'Em Out. I couldn't think of the name, but it's called Move 'Em Out. And a bunch of girls from all over the country gathered up, got on wagons, and moved them out. It was an amazing adventure. But we talked about the jackalope. The jackalope is from the Tall Tale Tellers. He's a joker. You can find a lot of jackalopes out there, and there's supposed to be a jackrabbit and a pronghorn antelope. There's a whole bunch of myth around them. There's even one in Arabian myth, which I didn't know, and it's called the Al-Miraj. It's a yellow rabbit sporting a single horn like a unicorn. And it's a man-eater. Yikes! So the jackalope is, and the jackalope was a way more about it being a trickster. Here's another one. I wasn't really familiar with this one. It's called a Kirin. When I was flipping through the deck, the first thing that attracted me was the colors. I just think it's so pretty. It's a good luck charm. It's supposed to be basically a Chinese unicorn, 2 horns rather than 1. Some do show up with 1, it says. This is one of the 4 heavenly creatures of China. The others are the dragon, the phoenix, and the tortoise. The Kirin is said to walk silently, stepping so lightly it does not harm a single blade of grass. So it's a good luck card. Another favorite. Okay, so Arwen picked a lot of things that she really loves for this review. The Kitsune. I had a meditation once where the Kitsune showed up. This is intelligent, wile, and guile. And it is the Japanese shape-shifting fox. China and Korea both have them. The Korean one is said to be evil, or considered evil. In Japan, the Kitsune are the nice ones. The Nagatsunes are supposed to be the meaner ones. Inari, who is male and female, is the deity that the Kitsune serve. I've always known the Kitsune as messengers as well. There can be a sexual aspect to that creature. Now here we go to one that I've never heard of. Again, grabbed it because I really like the look of it. It is called the Smurg. Yes, that's a dog with wings and peacock tails. This one is said to be from Persia, and an enormous bird-like beast. They have kind of mixed it up with the phoenix, kind of moved it over. It's supposedly one individual, a female, who lives atop the tree of life. And then she flies from the tree shakes and scatters the seed. Very benevolent and nurturing. So this is teaching compassion and knowledge and wisdom. And then, of course, the last card I had to pull up and look at the werewolf. So, and in her system, man's beast being uncontrolled, I can certainly understand that. It also talks about intrapersonal conflict. So, I'm not sure why there's lightning there, but I guess it's for the stormy nature of the card. But this has been a review of The Mythical Creatures Oracle by Sky Sibeli, or Kaiwell. I don't know. And it is from Schiffer. And I'll put a link so that if you want to go check this out online, you can. I do tell everybody up front that my links to Amazon are affiliate links. They're not Oracle links. You do not click on them and learn. Hey, Paul says, don't do that today. Because all my Oracle links would say, yes, get this deck, because I am a big old deck enabler. Personal note, right now I have just over 400 decks in my collection, so yeah, magpie, need, want, right? As always, guys, I want you to go out, have a great day, and remember, seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.